Hello. We are almost live from New York, I guess. Is it New York, Christian?
It's New York City. It's Manhattan that you see here in my background.
Okay, so we're talking with Kristian Puggaard, and he's actually present at NFR 2026. That is the first e-commerce and logistics big event in US. So I think that the year has been starting quite busy for you.
It is an immense event. There are more than 50,000 people have been gathered here at New York City to talk about new developments in retail and e-commerce, logistics as well. So, it's a gigantic event, and it's been really busy 5 days I've had here. So, looking forward to going home later tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody who is not visiting those kind of events thinks that this is blessing. You can visit New York, but I bet you haven't been on the streets of New York and haven't even had a coffee because you have been so busy in the conference center only.
Yes. Unfortunately, the carrier SAS, they forgot my luggage in Copenhagen. So I've had, that's my luck, because then I had to go out and buy some clothes every day. So I have chance. Yeah, but besides that, it's just you're on all the time, and there are side events and everything. You know what it's like.
Is it really true that they are selling already Tembi sweatshirts in New York?
That is true. I promise you that it's the most popular brand in the streets of Manhattan.
Okay, but tell me about the event. Did you manage to hear the keynote from the CEO of Google? I think it was on the first day.
Yes, I was very fortunate to be in the room when Sundar Pichai from Google, he actually announced this about the new UCP, the United Commerce Protocol, that they have done along with other ecosystem players in the area of retail and e-commerce. And if you ask me, it is just a big underline under the fact that e-commerce and retail in general is being completely reshaped with the new technologies that we are seeing. So it was a big launch, and there were like applauses in the room and everything.
I agree with you. I read about this morning and also immediately recognized that this is going to be the thing in retail and e-commerce. And from my point of view, I'm now waiting when there is going to be universal delivery protocol emerging somewhere, because this is the second part of the equation.
Yeah, I'm actually waiting for that as well. And it's a really good point that you have there, Andreas, because I was also thinking, so one of the things that this will do is that, to some extent, there will be a disconnect between the vendor and the consumer, because, an agent will do the shopping for you. So this means that it's more difficult to try to persuade you when you meet me along the way when I'm going in, trying to find new clothes or whatever it was that I was searching for, if I don't know it before. But similarly, when we look at it from a last mile and locker perspective, like the logistics part of it, you would not go in and choose activity one of the last mile carriers because you would not face them. So how will that reshape the things that you and I that we are working with in this area? That will be interesting to follow over the coming couple of years, and it will move really fast. I'm kind of sure about that.
If anybody hasn't seen yet, I suggest to take a look on YouTube, Christian's few podcasts or videos about agentic buying. I think this is one of the clearest and understandable explanation what is going to happen. Nobody knows exactly what is going to happen, but definitely you are shaping the playground quite well. What will be the structural changes soon.
Thank you for that feedback, Andre. And I've also been giving it a lot of thought. And I think the thing is, I think that maybe in just a year's time or a couple of years, agents will be something that we just use on a daily basis as consumers, because they're going to be one of the things that NRF here, this retail conference, is about. That's about technology in retail. And you walk around and you look at all of the tech companies, the biggest ones and the smallest one, and all of them, they have developed and show. We've been waiting for this, and we've been preparing for this. We've been building for this for a while. So all are showing new solutions and new technologies in this area, and it just proves to me that in a very short time this will be embedded in all of the products that we're using. So we won't even recognize it ourselves, but it's just working on our behalf. And I think of course, there are going to be a lot of ethical discussions, and there are also going to be some fuck ups. Sorry about the language there, but and mainly maybe it is not good enough yet, but it will be, and it will be soon. And then we wouldn't even remember that we didn't use it like that. It is going to be something that we just have on our phone, on our laptop, and that we engage with.
I agree with you. The only thing is that because you and I are both very deep in the technology, we might overestimate the speed of the deployment. It takes more time when it reaches the masses, but it will be here very quickly.
It will. And I agree. Sometimes we should be cautious about this, but at the same time, all of us, we have different kinds of technology vendors in our pockets, in our phone, or on our laptop, or in the systems that we work with. And that is simply going to be integrated in that, whether it's Salesforce, Microsoft, IBM-based solutions, or also SAP, and all the small ones that we don't know, that we don't recognize, Facebook, Meta, all of these, it will simply be embedded. So in that respect, we won't even notice. I think we're not going to sit. People are not going to sit around talking about which agent and having a big project of building their own agent. No, that is just being something that they're simply being introduced to in a smooth way, and then that's it.
I agree with you. Again, we can talk about the agentic buying for the hours, but what else? In a sense, there are 40,000 people and a lot of exhibits. What else did you notice? What are the trends, or what were the interesting things you were?
I will actually say, to be honest, that Agentic is everywhere. It's like everybody had Agentic on the scene. And then there are also the other pieces around AI, artificial intelligence, image creation, personalization, about how can we, make the marketing campaigns directly from creating images that, can be funneled all the way through the way you communicate and interact with the consumers. I think this is it. So many variations that you can think around about AI, of course, is there. And then there are all the meta discussions about that, that it has to be embedded in strategy, and there's a lot of organizational change management needing to happen. But that's with everything, right? So I think on that note is not. But I was very much struck with how how much AI and agents, these two things, how big of a piece of the NRF that it actually captured. It was much more. As you say, you and I, we've been working with this area, so it's familiar to us. But I didn't know when I went here, like, it's going to be 2% or 5% or 10%. But I'd say it was more like 80% of the exhibitors there that were there that talked about these things and showcased and demonstrated their solutions. And that's also why I am confident that it would move much faster than we ever imagined.
I tend to agree with you, but again, my personal feeling is here in Europe, we are definitely lagging with this kind of development. This is probably logical because all the LLMs or AI development is pretty much concentrated on US soil and not in Europe. But in that case, we have to be more clever in not inventing those solutions, but implementing those solutions. So we have to visit those events and listen people like you talking about that.
I agree, and also that all of the bigger technology companies, they are also US based. All of those, of course, some of them like ACP have a different heritage, but at the same time, the most of them are based out of the US. So in that respect, we are a bit behind, but we are also used to using their products.
But I think that you are extremely well positioned with your company Tembi with that, because even the AI solutions need a lot of data and accurate data, not the garbage. So this is definitely one thing I think that's going to emerge, is sort of data processing, data gathering, data aggregation companies you will grab the data and sort of format that into the agentic sort of so that agents can work with that.
Seen from my side, I agree, and I think there's this possibility of market transparency, but also the possibility of predictability that now actually emerges. I think, and as you say, I hope that you're right, that we are very well positioned in this area. That's something that we've been working towards, and I think it is still important to remember that what you do has to solve business problems. So a lot of companies might release agents or do AI or whatever they do, but if it doesn't solve a business problem, they're not going to be the ones that survive. But at least I see that a lot of companies are also now seeing that they actually now can start using this kind of intelligence to understand product categories should they be in? How would the consumer expect it to be delivered? When during the year? Like, what is the seasonality about the products that they are having? From many perspectives, both of course with sales growth, but also with optimization, reducing waste, and also with reducing the impact of the climate of producing too many jumpers that are not like Tembi going to be sold out when you see them, but that you risk having in stock, and then you need to get rid of them, right? And then it's just a huge climate impact. So, and these things are now becoming more and more available. I think that people, most business leaders at least, they understand that now, and they did not do that 5 years ago. They didn't, they couldn't connect the dots. They might understand theoretically, but they couldn't. But now they're starting to connecting the dots.
So next time I'm going to address you to your data. How about Lockers first?
Yeah.
But thank you, Kristian. It was great talking to you live from NFR, and I hope when you are back, we should do some deep dives on agentic and AI applications, because I think Europe is lagging, and we need some kind of push to guide industry to the right direction.
I'm completely up for that, Andre. It's been a pleasure talking with you like always, and let's keep this debate and this area moving, because as you say, we need to be on top of this in Europe as well.
Thank you, and have a safe travel back.
Thanks, Andre.